Keep yourself in the loop of everything football on the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. The latest news on and off the field, be it college football, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC to the NFL. We've got you covered. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
All right, and welcome to the GSMC Football Podcast. This episode is brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, and as always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. All right, it is now Wednesday, June 13th, and here's what we're doing today. We're ranking NFL drafts. All right, we've been going through a lot of the drafts lately, and I felt like, it's probably time that we actually go through and rank some of them because it's been fun looking at them. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the 2013 through 2016 drafts. All right, not going to do this year's draft, obviously, or 2017 because 2017 there was a bunch of rookies. All right, so we're going to go look through it. We're going to look at the top players. We're going to look at some players that haven't really done so well. All right, 2016 is going to be a little bit of a weird one because that's still second-year players. We're coming into their third year. So like I said, we'll be talking about that still. But nonetheless, like I said, looking at the top players, talking more so about some impact players and then looking at some duds and then just going through every round, seeing what we could find there. All right, so we're going to rank them at the end, but we're going to go through each draft and pretty much, like I said, do a little analysis on it, talk about it. So let's start off with 2013. Let's take it back. Okay, we'll finish off with 2016, and then, like I said, we will rank them at the very end. So let's see, 2013. We're going a ways back here. So let's see. I'm already looking at the first two picks: Eric Fisher, Luke Joeckel, Deion Jordan. Not the best top three picks, I'd say. All right, Deion Jordan. I remember Miami traded up with Oakland to take Jordan. I mean, he looks like a football player. Okay, he does. He looks like a football player that can make an impact. But I mean, that's all he did. He just looked the part. He couldn't play the part at all. Okay. Then you got Luke Joeckel. He's not even a starter on the Jaguars. Okay. And I'm almost positive Eric Fisher isn't even starting for the Chiefs anymore. All right, and let's take a look at that. But nonetheless, like I said, with Deion Jordan, it's just the point of, I mean, he's on the Seattle Seahawks now, I believe, and he has shown flashes of being a solid player. But like I said, I mean, that's it. It's just flashes. He should have been a whole lot better. I mean, got suspended a couple times with Miami due to, I think it was PEDs. All right, Eric Fisher actually is starting for the Chiefs, for that one. But nonetheless, yeah, 2 out of the top 3 picks, not great. Pick number 4, you got Lane Johnson, all right. Great right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's done well over his career, wouldn't you say so? He's got a Super Bowl. Pick 5, Ezekiel Ansah. Not the best defensive lineman out there, but nonetheless one who has done well so far for his career. Number 6, Barkevious Mingo. That guy's bounced around, all right, different places. Not really what everyone thought he would be. All right, I think he was with the Patriots for a bit, also with the Colts. Didn't he get drafted? He got drafted by the Browns first. But nonetheless, like I said, hasn't really done too much over his career. Another guy like Deion Jordan, where you figure that they looked apart, so they're going to play well. But, of course, it doesn't really happen that way. All right, and then the Cardinals with the next pick took Jonathan Cooper, offensive guard. Let's see, is he still starting with the Cardinals? No, he is not. Okay. Is not. All right, so yeah, that's another wasted pick there. Number 8, this is my favorite one right here, okay? Everyone's fantasy sleeper for about 5 years. Tavon Austin got drafted by the St. Louis Rams. I mean, there was about 3 different drafts where I took Tavon Austin expecting him to break out. Oh, yeah, you guys don't know. This is Tavon Austin's year. Okay, and I'm sure there's going to be someone out there who's taking Tavon Austin because they're thinking that he's going to do well with Dallas, now that Dez isn't there. All right, and isn't it funny how that's just the way it goes there? But nonetheless, like I said, Tavon Austin, definitely everyone's favorite fantasy sleeper, but nonetheless hasn't really turned out to be a solid pick. So, I mean, as far as the guys who have done well for themselves in the top 10, I'd say that it's... Oh, actually, let's go do the finish off top 10. So, the New York Jets took D. Milliner. Their secondary is a... How do you say? It's not great. Okay, it's not great at all. It was actually terrible last season, so, I mean, that's another bad pick there. All right, and then looking at Tennessee, they took Chance Warmack. Let's see. He's not even starting for them. All right, so obviously that top 10, not looking great. I mean, the best players from that top 10, Eric Fisher, excuse me, Ezekiel Ansah, I guess Lane Johnson, and that's just about it. Okay. So obviously, like I said, not great. Looking at the rest of the first round, Sheldon Richardson, but he's not even with the Jets anymore. Did play well, I guess, for them. All right, Kenny Vaccaro got drafted 15th by the Saints. I mean, as far as that, Vaccaro is a decent safety, but he's still a free agent, and I feel like there's a reason why. All right, maybe he's not the best safety out there. San Francisco takes Eric Reed at number 18. Was good for for LSU, but nonetheless was okay for the 49ers. All right, wasn't probably what we all expected him to be, but nonetheless did a decent job. Kyle Long with Chicago has done well for himself. Justin Pugh also with the Giants. Tyler Eifert was a very good tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals, but just had a big problem with injuries. All right, he could, like I said, he had a couple of breakout seasons, and then after that, he just kept getting injured. A lot of our fantasy picks were spent on him, waiting to see if he'd come back better, but it just seems like they've moved on from him. Let's see. Desmond Trufant, cornerback for the Falcons, a starter there. That was a solid pick. Sharif Floyd for the Minnesota Vikings, starting defensive tackle. He's had a nice little career so far. And let's see, Xavier Rhodes, also a nice pick by the Minnesota Vikings there at cornerback. He's a starter for them. DeAndre Hopkins went in the 27th pick by Houston. I mean, let's see, was there any receivers taken before that? Tavon Austin got taken before DeAndre Hopkins. And I love looking back at drafts because obviously you can't really tell how well a player's going to turn out. You're just assuming that the pick you're making is the right one. All right, and I'm sure that the Rams thought that Tavon Austin pick would be the right one, but just imagine if they end up taking DeAndre Hopkins instead. I don't know. Might be a bit different there. Then you got Sylvester Williams, defensive tackle with the Broncos. He hadn't really done much. Cordell Patterson, drafted by the Vikings. He's just a special teams guy now. I think he's with he's with the Patriots now. Might be included in their offense a bit, but I'm not sure how much. Alec Ogletree to the Rams with the 30th pick. Travis Frederick, center to the Cowboys with 31st pick. That was a solid pick there, I'd say. So, I mean, the first round, you got some hits, but you got a lot of misses, I'd say. And then moving on to the second round, let's see if we could find any other good ones. We got Zach Ertz right there at the 35th pick. All right. Darius Slay with the 36th pick. Both very good players. Zach Ertz, I'd say, is a top 3 tight end. Slay, I'd say probably top 10 cornerback. So, some good players there. Giovanni Bernard did well with the Bengals, but more so. Last couple of years, he fell off. Manti Te'o to the Chargers. I'll never forget that story he had when he was with Notre Dame. Manti Te'o's playing for the Saints now, I believe. Hasn't really done much. Jets take Geno Smith in the second round that year. Geno Smith, now he's with the Giants. All right, with the Jets, I mean, he got opportunities. It's just he wasn't good enough. All right, Robert Woods got taken in the second round, 41st pick by the Bills. All right, he's with the Rams now. He did well at home. Needs to figure out how to play well on the road, but nonetheless has done well. Kawan Short got taken with the 44th pick by the Panthers. He's done well. Kiko Alonso got taken in the 46th pick by the Bills. He's now playing for the Dolphins. He's slow, I'll say that much. And then, of course, we got a diamond in the rough here, Le'Veon Bell. Best running back in the league right now for me personally. Got taken with the 48th pick by the Steelers. So that's probably the best player of this draft already. Yeah, that has to be. There's no way there's anyone better than Le'Veon Bell in this draft now. All right, let's see. Anyone else I'm missing in the second round? Monty Ball, I mean, did well Wisconsin, but never just really could put it together out in Denver. All right, was okay, but nonetheless never, like I said, just never got the job done there. Robert Alford, Atlanta Falcons cornerback, also starter. He's done well. Eddie Lacy got taken in the 61st pick in the second round by the Packers. had a good first couple of years, gained a lot of weight, and seemingly just fell off after that. And then everyone's favorite, is he going to start for this team this season? Christine Michael got taken in the second round. He hasn't really done much. Everyone's just been waiting for him to start, like I said. All right. Actually, 2 of the top 3 tight ends in this league have been taken in this 2013 draft. You got Travis Kelce, first pick of the 3rd round by the Chiefs. Obviously, we know what kind of player he is. He's probably one of the best tight ends. And if anything, he's probably better than Ertz and right behind Gronk. So that's a solid pick there. So we got a lot of actually good players in this draft. All right, and it's more so players in the middle rounds rather than the first round. All right. So you got Tyrann Mathieu in the 3rd round by the Cardinals. He's now playing for the Texans, but he's a solid player. It's just the Cardinals didn't want to pay him. All right, T.J. McDonald now the starting safety for the Miami Dolphins, so he's done well. So there's a lot of solid players, I think, here. All right, let's see who else. Mike Glennon, everyone's favorite, highest paid backup quarterback. Then you got Keenan Allen in the 3rd round. That's another great pick. Let's see. Anyone else in the 3rd round here? Jordan Reed, he was a solid tight end. It's just the guy can't stay healthy. All right. So, yeah, I'd say that Travis Kelce, and I guess you'd have to go Tyrann Mathieu is the best players of this 3rd round. A lot of these guys taken in the 2nd and 3rd round probably should have been first-round picks, in hindsight, right? 4th round, I think this is where it's slim pickings here. You got Akeem Spence. He's a name to pay attention to. Let's see. Not too much talent here in this 4th round. All right. Like I said, Akeem Spence so far the biggest name that I've seen. Yeah, I think it's just Akeem Spence here. You got guys like Landry Jones getting drafted. Obviously, he's not great. Yeah, definitely. I think. Kyle Juszczyk. I think it was the fullback for the 49ers now. He's done well, so that's another solid pick there. So yeah, only 2 decent picks I'd say in the 4th round. Other than that, nothing really too big I'd say. 5th round, Kenny Stills, starting receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Now I think he's done well so far in his NFL career, so that was a solid pick. And you're seeing a couple of solid players, like starters in the league now in each of these middle rounds. All right, Micah Hyde. I think he was with the Bills this season and did well. Okay, let's see. Anyone else? No one else. Let's move on to the 6th round. This is where it gets a bit tough, all right? Latavius Murray, he's done well for himself so far in his NFL career, but isn't maybe what he wanted to be. Rex Burkhead, now with the Patriots, pretty much Danny Woodhead 2.0 for them. And then let's see, Theo Riddick, obviously got some starts with the Detroit Lions. Gets a lot of playing time there. And then for the 7th round, I think is where it might end there. All right. I'm not really seeing too much here. Jordan Poyer, I guess, was pretty decent. But other than that, it's not looking too good for the 7th round. So, as far as this draft goes, I'd say that it was a very good one. Okay? 1st round was a bit disappointing, but of course, the middle rounds is where the 2nd through 5th round is where you saw a lot of great players, a lot of starters doing well for themselves. So I'd say this was a pretty good draft just based off of star power. You got Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, DeAndre Hopkins, Le'Veon Bell, a lot of top players at their position. So I like this draft. So we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to go to the 2014 draft. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Are you looking for help for your fantasy football team? Check out the GSMC Fantasy Football Podcast. Get today's best advice on who to start, who to sit, even who you should draft. From sleeper picks to red-hot lineups, they got it all covered for you. That's gsmcpodcast.com/fantasy-football-podcast. We'll cover traditional leagues, dynasty, PPR, even IDP leagues. When you need fantasy help, there's just one show to hit up. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Football Podcast. We spent that first segment talking about the 2013 draft. A lot of good players there, guys such as Zach Ertz, Le'Veon Bell, Travis Kelce, and DeAndre Hopkins. All right, so that's a pretty decent draft there. Now we're going to head over to the 2014 draft and see what we got going on there. So let's just jump in right into that. You got Jadeveon Clowney with the first pick. Hasn't really lived up to expectations, but that's more so because of injuries, I feel. But I feel like he is on his way to becoming a top defensive end in this league. All right. Then you got Greg Robinson, drafted the second pick of the first round by the Rams. He didn't really pan out the way you'd want him to if you're the Rams. Okay. So obviously a pick where it's a wasted pick there. He's not even a starter for this team, so definitely not a great pick there. Then you got Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles is pretty much just waited till the last minute to show that, you know what, maybe he was worth, I don't know if I'd say he's worth being a third-round pick. Or, I mean, not a third round, the third pick of the first round. Okay? It's just, he has put up stats in a couple of seasons. Last year, his stats weren't entirely high as far as the touchdowns or anything like that, but nonetheless, they got to the AFC Championship, and he did play well this season, so I'd say maybe Jacksonville might have hit on that pick. All right. Fourth pick of the first round, you got Sammy Watkins. He's making $16 million a year with the Chiefs. I mean, he hasn't really been great. Like, he's shown flashes, but just the guy can't stay healthy. All right. Only has one 1,000-yard season. Fifth pick, you got Khalil Mack, definitely one of the best defensive ends in the league, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him. Nonetheless, like I said, one of the best in the league, holding out for a new deal there. So, I mean, that's a solid pick. And also, I mean, if you're the Raiders, you got to give him that deal, right? There's no way that you don't. Okay, unless you just think you're going to franchise him the entire time. Then you got Jake Matthews with the sixth pick of the first round. He's a starter for the Falcons. That's another solid pick there. I feel like this top 10 is a lot better than the 2013 draft top 10, but nonetheless, the 2013 draft did have a lot of great players in there too. Pick 7, you got Mike Evans, just recently got himself a new deal, and you're starting to see a lot of the players from this draft starting to get their deals because they're on their last year of the rookie deal right here. So like I said, Mike Evans, a solid receiver, okay, has done well with Jameis Winston, and I don't know, I feel like with Mike Evans, where would you rate him as far as being a top 10 receiver? Is he a top 10 receiver? Yeah. I think he's like top 7, I'd say. So yeah, Mike Evans has done well. Then you got the good old Cleveland Browns taking Justin Gilbert with the 8th pick. It seems that he just didn't love football. He just never really got the hang of it. Not the hang of it, but just more so never really had the passion for it, so he didn't turn out well. Ended up getting traded to the Steelers, and they just got rid of him after that. Then with the 9th pick, you got Anthony Barr, linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. That's another solid pick there. So I'd say, let's see, then the 10th pick, you got Eric Ebron for the Detroit Lions. That didn't really work out there. So I'd say out of the top 10, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 10 picks worked out, I'd say. Anthony Barr, Mike Evans, Jake Matthews, Khalil Mack, Sammy Watkins, Blake Bortles, Jadeveon Clowney. At least they've worked out so far. Obviously, I mean, these guys are just in the twilight of their career, so we got to wait and see exactly how much more they develop. 11th pick, you got Taylor Lewin. He's looking for a new deal here, too. All right? And, I mean, he's probably the Titans' best offensive lineman, I'd say, possibly there. So I'd say Tyler Lewin, another successful pick. 12th pick, you got Odell Beckham Jr. He's going to be looking for a new deal, too. A top 5 receiver there. So this draft started to rival 2013 a bit as far as star power. And then look at that. Speaking of star power, Aaron Donald, okay, so drafted by the St. Louis Rams in the 13th pick. He's also holding out, looking for a new deal. And I don't know why the Ravens wouldn't give him that deal. Or not the Ravens, the Rams. I don't know why the Rams wouldn't give him that deal. So it's going to be interesting to see how long this holdout lasts. And I do think the Rams are going to, give in. Then you got Ryan Shazier with the 15th pick, another solid player. Zach Martin with the 16th pick by the Dallas Cowboys. I believe he's up for a new contract too. Might have even gotten an extension actually today, possibly. Yeah, he actually got paid today. 6 years, $84 million, $40 million guaranteed. All right, it's a huge contract for an offensive guard. Obviously, he's done well. One of the best guards in the league, if not the best. Okay. Then you got C.J. Mosley. A lot of starters here. A lot of guys who are about to get paid. C.J. Mosley, middle linebacker for the Ravens. I mean, pretty much, I'm not going to say Ray Lewis 2.0, but nonetheless a very solid linebacker. All right, Jawan James has been a starting tackle for the Dolphins for his first 4 years, so I'd say he's done well. Brandon Cooks, I mean, on his third team now, but nonetheless, I think he's done pretty well for himself, playing with the Rams now. Clinton Dix, the Green Bay Packers starting safety. I mean, there's a lot of starters in this first round. We're going to go through and see how many out of the 32 picks there actually is right now. Johnny Manziel, obviously now with in the CFL. His NFL career didn't turn out well. I mean, he's trying to make a comeback, so maybe he can, but nonetheless, it's going to be a bit difficult there. D Ford, Kansas City Chiefs defensive end. He's didn't really turn out. All right, then you got Jason Verrett, drafted by the San Diego Chargers. He was a good player for them. Marcus Smith, drafted by the Eagles, defensive end. Did not turn out good. Okay, Deion Buchanan for the Arizona Cardinals. He's Kelvin Benjamin got drafted in the first round too here. I don't know. Kelvin Benjamin, I think, is a bit overrated. I think he's more so a glorified number 2 receiver at that. And then after that, not too many great picks here. Bradley Roby should be the Denver Broncos starting cornerback this season. Then you got Teddy Bridgewater, who has looked good in minicamp with the Jets, seemingly making a lot of good decisions, what I'm seeing. So there's a lot of starters here. Let's see. Off the top of my head, we got Clowney, Bortles, Watkins, Mack, Matthews, Evans. That's 6 of them right there. Anthony Barr, that's 7. Luan, that's 8. OBJ, that's 9. Aaron Donald, 10. Shazier, 11. Martin, 12. Mosley, 13. Juwan James, 14. Brandon Cooks, 15. Clinton Dix, 16. Jason Verrett, 17. Is Darqueze Dennard still starting with the Bengals? I'm not entirely sure. All right, Benjamin, that's 17. Bradley Roby, 18. Teddy Bridgewater could be 19. So there's a lot of picks here, a lot of solid picks here. All right, looking at the second round, you got DeMarcus Lawrence. I believe, was he near Defensive Player of the Year last year, I think, or was he the NFC Defensive Player of the Year? I'm not sure either way. All right, played extremely well last season and ended up getting paid. Then you got Derek Carr, starting quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. Best quarterback they've had since probably Rich Gannon, and even Rich Gannon wasn't that great. All right, Austin Seferian-Jenkins now playing with the Jags. I mean, bounced around team to team. All right, started off with the Bucks, ended up going to the Jets, and now with the Jags. I think he'll do well this season with the Jags. Speaking of the Jags, you got Marquise Lee. He's a starting wide receiver for them, so you can't complain there. Kyle Van Noy with the Lions there in the second round. LaMarcus Joyner on a franchise tag right now, I think, with the Rams. So we'll see what ends up coming about that. Let's see, anyone else in the second round? Paul Richardson just got himself a nice little deal with the Redskins. All right. Timmy Jernigan. Let's see, who else do we have here? Devontae Adams, another solid player. So there's a lot of solid players. I don't think this draft has the... I don't know, does it? You got Odell Beckham Jr., Zach Martin, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack. So, I mean, it does kind of rival the 2013 draft as far as firepower. All right, we're looking at the rest of the second round. He's a Devontae Adams, a bust, and Bishop Sankey. Carlos Hyde, now with the Browns, but he's done well. Allen Robinson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jarvis Landry. A lot of good players in this first 2 rounds. All right, but I think we were talking about this draft a couple episodes ago, and I think it was, the middle rounds where it kind of gets bad. All right, so that third round, you're starting to see names like Trey Mason. Okay, Billy Turner, not great there. Let's see. Yeah, not too much going on here. Josh Huff, another bust. Jerick McKinnon, going to be the starting running back for the 49ers possibly this season. That's probably the best pick of the third round right there. I'd say so. All right, fourth round, let's see anything better. Bashad Breeland has done all right. Devontae Freeman, easily the best pick of the fourth round unless we see someone better than him. Devontae Freeman, too, one of the higher paid running backs in the league, and that's kind of surprising just considering looking at everyone else. Martavis Bryant, he's done all right. He's got talent, he just hasn't put it all together yet. All right. So I'd say, yeah, Devontae Freeman definitely the best player of that fourth round. Fifth round, you got Ryan Grant. He's playing for the Colts now. Hasn't really done much, though. Benet Ben-Rickery from San Jose State got drafted by the Panthers. Basically got his career ended by Julio Jones. That was a tough game to watch, too, especially watching Ben-Rickery. Yeah. A.J. McCarron, now with the Bills, going to be the starting quarterback at least for the foreseeable future of this season until he, I guess, gives it up. Yeah, not much going on in the fifth round there. Round 6, let's see, does it get better? It does not. We see Zach Mettenberger. Not really much going on here. All right, a bunch of practice squad guys and a bunch of 53, 52, 50 guys, 51 guys on this team, meaning the last players on their roster. Quincy Enunwa has done well with the Jets. Yeah, I'd say that the first 2 rounds are real good. Third round's got some diamonds in the rough, but other than that, not really great not as much depth as it was in 2013 draft. All right, so 2014 draft, like I said, it's got its names, but more so nothing real. Like, got a lot of great players, but only in the first 2 rounds. It's not spread out throughout. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Next up, we're gonna be talking about the 2015 draft. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA, from the UFC to extreme cage fighting. They got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Football Podcast. So far, we've talked about the 2013 and 2014 drafts. Now we're going to move over to 2015, and then we will finish the show doing 2016 and also ranking them at the end. I'd say right now, 2013 has the edge over 2014. 2014 was pretty solid, but it's just 2013 had a lot of good players through rounds 2 through 5, or rounds 2 through 6, I would say. All right, and a lot of starters. So, yeah, I like 2013 better. Plus, you got your Le'Veon Bells, DeAndre Hopkins and stuff, your star players. So, I think it was a very good one. We're looking at 2015. First pick, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, I'd say, has, I don't want to say lived up to expectations, but more so shown what kind of quarterback he could be. It's just a matter of, I think he's a good quarterback, but Jameis has got to limit the turnovers now. Okay, that's his next step, and that's what's going to that's what's going to make him a great quarterback. If Jameis could stop with the dumb decisions and bad turnovers, then I'd feel the Bucs would probably be a team who make the playoffs a lot more, and would be a team where they'd know, yeah, without a doubt, we got a top 10 quarterback in Jameis. Okay? And like I said, Jameis, if he were to sharpen up a couple of his skills and limit the turnovers, he could be a top 10 quarterback, and he has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback. He's just got to put it all together, so we'll see about it. But, I mean, I like the pick for the Bucs there, and then I like the pick for the Titans with the second pick, Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota had a real down year this past season, but I feel like this year he's going to have a real big year, maybe a most improved type of year here, where you got Matt LaFleur as his offensive coordinator. Okay, Matt LaFleur was the quarterback's coach for Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan won the MVP, and this past season was the Rams' offensive coordinator, and look at the year Jared Goff had. All right, so, I mean, you got that. I'm sure that Mariota is going to pretty much probably have the best year of his short career so far this season. All right, I'd say I'd bet on that. I'd take Marcus Mariota in my fantasy team. All right. Then you got Dante Fowler with a third pick. Blew out his knee his first season. Okay, I think it was, training camp I think he did it. This past year wasn't a starter, but nonetheless did get some time and did do well and produce. So I'd say he was a pretty decent pick. I mean, for a third pick of the first round, probably not what you want as far as him being a second string guy. But like I said, nonetheless, he's done well. Then you got Amari Cooper with the fourth pick. Amari Cooper, he's got the makings of being a top 10 receiver, but more so he needs to learn how to catch the ball and be a little bit more consistent. Okay, he does that, then, like I said, he's a top 10 receiver in the league by far. Okay, but it's just a matter of the guy's got to work on catching the ball. Way too many drops since he's been in the league. Then you got Brandon Sheriff, tackle out of Washington. Is he the tackle right now for Washington, or did he get moved to guard? All right, nonetheless, is a starter for the Redskins. So, I mean, anytime you're able to, he's a guard right now. Anytime you're able to draft a starter in the top 10, that's a plus. Okay, then you got Leonard Williams, the sixth pick. I'd say he's done well so far with the Jets. I like that pick there too. So I'd say the first 6 picks of the draft have been pretty decent. Pick number 7 is where it gets a bit bad, where you get Kevin White. It's not even Kevin White's fault. It's just the guy has just gone through injury to injury in the first 3 years of his career. Now it seems like he's healthy, but it's just a matter of, are his legs going to be able to be enough? Because, I mean, he suffered a lot of lower leg injuries since he's been in the league. All right. Pick number 8, you got Vic Beasley. I'd say he's done well so far, the Falcons. He's a starter on that defense. So, like I said, another solid top 10 pick. Number 9, Eric Flowers. That hasn't really blossomed to what the Giants wanted it to be. But nonetheless, I'd say, yeah, not a great pick. And then with the final pick of the final top 10 pick of the first round is Todd Gurley. Top 3 running back, I'd say. Actually, is he? I'd go Le'Veon, David Johnson. Do I go Ezekiel Elliott or is it Todd Gurley? All right. I think I'll go Todd Gurley, I'd say. All right. So, yeah, a lot of solid picks in the top 10. Let's see how many I'd say were good ones. So, Jameis is 1. Mariota's 2. Fowler, I'd say 3, but I'm being real generous there. Cooper, 4. Sheriff, 5. Williams, 6. Beasley, 7. Gurley, 8. So, 8 out of the first 10 picks, I'd say, have been hits. All right. Then you look over to the 11th pick by the Vikings. You got Trey Waynes. He's a starter there. Cleveland Browns take Danny Shelton. And again, we're seeing a theme where the Browns draft players who aren't on their team anymore. 13th pick, you got the Saints taking Andres Pete out of Stanford. He's a tackle. All right. I haven't heard much about him. Usually that's good. All right. For an offensive lineman, you don't want to be out in the open. Let's see if he's still starting with the Saints right here. Yeah, he is. So that was a solid pick there. Okay, then you got Devontae Parker with the 14th pick. I'd say Devontae Parker's been a bust so far in his career. He's been injured and more so hasn't really produced when he's been out there, and I think this is the year where he's got to step up, okay? Jarvis Landry's not there. He's going to be the focal point of the offense, and it's just a matter of, like I said, Devontae Parker's got to step up. Melvin Gordon, his first year with the Chargers, he didn't really look too good, but since then has really played well for the Chargers, so I'd say that was a hit right there. Okay, let's see any other ones right here. We got Eric Armstead for the San Francisco 49ers. Still developing, not where he wants to be, I'd say, but more so he's got potential. Marcus Peters for the Chiefs. I mean, most turnovers cost since 2015, so that's a plus. Obviously, he's been playing very well. Chiefs ended up trading him to the Rams. They said it was because of the locker room issues. I don't really buy into that, but nonetheless, the Rams got themselves a star right there. Nelson Aguilar for the Eagles. Not a number 1 receiver, not a number 2 receiver. Is a slot receiver, but does well there. All right. Eagles tried having him be a number 1 receiver for them for his first 2 years. Like I said, last year they moved him to the slot, and he did well. So I think that's where his little spot is. Okay. Then you got Shane Ray for the Broncos defensive end. He's got talent. The dude can't stay on the field. Okay. Once he's able to do that, I'd say that the Broncos got themselves a solid pick there. Shaq Thompson with the 25th pick. Starter for the Panthers, I'd say that's a really good pick. Rashad Perryman for the Ravens. I mean, the dude's been hurt a lot and hasn't really produced when he's been on the field, so I can't say that's a good pick there. Byron Jones for the Cowboys, he's been Philip Dorsett taken by the Colts. That's not great. Demarius Randall by the Green Bay Packers. He's now playing for the Browns, so I'd say that was a wasted pick for the Packers. Stephon Anthony was traded for a 5th-round pick to the Dolphins. He's trying to win that starting linebacker job there, but I'd say so far for being a first-round pick hasn't really been great. And then Malcolm Brown, I'd say not really much going on with him in New England, I'd say. All right. So, I mean, the first round of this draft, obviously you got to let some guys develop and whatnot, but actually I got it wrong. I was thinking of someone else, but unless Brown is actually a starter for this team, so he has done well there. But like I said, as far as this first round, it's a lot of wait and see. It's a lot of development. Of course, I mean, these guys are entering their 4th year, so, I mean, what are you going to do there? Obviously, they're not where they need to be yet, okay? Looking at the second round, you got Landon Collins, who was the first pick of the second round, kind of like a team leader for the Giants there, so I'd say that's probably one of the best picks of this draft. Maybe, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but nonetheless, like I say, it's a real solid pick of this draft. Let's see, Mario Edwards, defensive end out of Oakland, hasn't really been what they wanted him to be. TJ Yeldon, he's a backup running back at best for the Jags. Devin Smith, wide receiver, taken by the Jets, not great at all. And it's a bunch of duds right here. Dorial Green-Beckham hasn't really done much, if anything. Devin Funchess, he's been solid for the Panthers. I'd say he's a number 2 receiver there, so that's pretty much his role. And I guess that's pretty solid for being a second-round pick. Let's see, he's a starter, so you can't really get mad there. Jaquiski Tart should be a starter for the San Francisco 49ers this season, so it's a solid pick. Denzel Perryman dealt with injuries, but more so as talented, you'd say. All right. Let's see. Jordan Phillips, drafted by the Dolphins in the 2nd round. He's showing flash. He's got to be consistent. That's all it is right there. Amir Abdullah, He's a decent running back, but he's nothing special, I'd say. And then, yeah, that's pretty much, those are like the best players. The players I just named were probably the best of the second round there. Third round, Clive Walford. I mean, that's just a notable name. He hasn't really done much. Tyler Lockett's a glorified special teams returner. Jalen Strong, I'd say, is a bust. Okay. Duke Johnson, a solid pick. Probably the best pick of this third round so far. Better yet, by the Browns. All right, he just got an extension, so I'd say they did well there. Jordan Hicks for the Eagles has been solid. Tyler Kroft taking over for Tyler Eifert, so that's a plus there. And then you got David Johnson, who probably is the best player in this draft. Okay, taken in the third round by the Cardinals out of Northern Iowa. Not many people saw David Johnson coming out and being the running back that he is, but nonetheless, I mean, like I said, been real solid here. And then, let's see, Ty Montgomery, he's a running back now, so that's all you need to know about that pick. So yeah, David Johnson, definitely the best pick of the third round and of this draft, I'd say. Then let's see, fourth round, Jeremy Langford was okay in his first year. After that, I mean, kind of forgotten. Jordan Howard's the guy who took over there. Jamison Crowder, he's a starter for the Redskins, so that's a plus. Let's see. It's not really looking great here. Josh Shaw, yeah. Yeah. Buck Allen got taken by the Ravens in this round. I guess he's been pretty decent. Solid for a fourth round pick, I'd say. All right, Quan Alexander, solid linebacker for the Bucks. Let's see, anyone else? Nothing really great. Round 5, I think this is where, like I said, it's all slim pickings here. Bobby McCain's got an extension by the Miami Dolphins, one of the best nickel corners, I'd say, in the league. Stephon Diggs gets taken right after that by the Vikings. I'd say he's a top 15 receiver, so solid pick there. Jay Ajayi, he's been solid so far in his NFL career. Drafted by the Dolphins, now with the Eagles. Let's see. That might just be it for this fifth round. And I think that is. Yeah, we're looking at round 6. Not great. I'd say that. Okay, a lot of guys who are either practice squad guys or just bouncing around camp bodies. Yeah, nothing really great here in round 6. Round 7, can we find a diamond in the rough? I don't think we're going to here. We're not. All right, so I'd say the 2015 draft was a solid one, but more so, we got to wait for these guys to develop. It's a little bit tough looking at 15 and 16, but nonetheless, I'd say that 2013 has the best draft right now. So I'd go 2014, 2015 in that order. 2013, 14, 15 so far. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to be looking at the 2016 draft, so stay tuned for that, and I will be right back.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts. Past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Football Podcast. So far, we've been talking about the past NFL drafts. All right, we skipped on 2017 and obviously this one because obviously we got to give them more time to talk about and judge. But nonetheless, we've talked about 2013, 14, 15, and we're now going to finish off with 16. I mean, so far the way we've done the show, I said I was going to rank them at the end, but I mean, like I said, doing 2013 first, 14 second, and 15 third, I mean, I feel like that's the way the ranking should go right now. But of course, I mean, 15 and 16 got more time to develop. So looking at 16, first pick, you got Rams taking Jared Goff, okay? His first year, he looked bad. He looked terrible his first year. I think that was more so Jeff Fisher's fault more than Goff's, because in his second year, I mean, it's pretty much night and day. The guy plays extremely well under McVay. And, of course, like I said, Matt LaFleur might be an X factor there, okay? But nonetheless, like I said, Goff plays well, leads them to the playoffs. They end up losing to the Falcons, but nonetheless, I think they're going to be a real good team this season. And I expect Goff to take another step up, so we'll see. Then you got Carson Wentz, taken by the Eagles in the second pick. I think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback in no time, okay? If he comes back from his knee injury this season and plays well, he'll be a top 5 quarterback, so he looks good already. Joey Bosa, taken by the Chargers. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more there, okay? Joey Bosa did hold out for a decent deal, actually, as a rookie, which was very interesting and entertaining. But nonetheless, since he's been playing with the Chargers, I mean, has played extremely well, all right? Looking at his stats, let's see, his first year in 2016, didn't play every game, only played 12 games, started 11 because he was holding out, nonetheless finished with 10.5 sacks, 29 tackles, 12 assisted, and then 2017 he makes the Pro Bowl, starts all 16 games, 4 forced fumbles, that's a bit of a tongue twister there, 12.5 sacks, 54 tackles, 16 assisted, all right, so he's done well. I'd say that was a real solid pick, even though he did hold out for a little bit into his first season. Ezekiel Elliott, drafted number 4 by the Cowboys. I mean, already a top 3 running back in the league. Like, already. Okay? And his 2016 draft might be rivaling 2013, 2014. I mean, you already got a bunch of star players. Carson Wentz going to be a top 5 quarterback. Bosa's on his way to being a top 5 defensive end. Elliott's already a top 3 running back. And then you got Jalen Ramsey, who I think is the best cornerback in the league already. Drafted 5th by the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right? So there's a lot of hits right here. I'd say all these top 5 picks so far have been hits. All right. And then it doesn't even stop. You got Ronnie Stanley, drafted 6th by the Baltimore Ravens. Solid player there, probably one of the best players in that draft. And like I said, it's a starter for that team. All right. And looking at pick number 7, you got the San Francisco 49ers taking DeForest Buckner, another starter there. Done well, still trying to develop, but nonetheless has done a job and has done it well. Okay. And we've seen the Titans take a lot of offensive linemen in the past few drafts. And 2016 was one where they did too, taking Jack Conklin. Okay. Is not, or actually, they're starting right tackle. He's done well. So that's 8 straight starters right there. Then you got Leonard Floyd of the Chicago Bears. I feel like he's done well so far. Okay. And the Bears are they're going to be a sneaky good team this season. I don't think they're going to go out and win the NFC North or anything like that. But nonetheless, I like the way they've played so far. Okay. And I think that, like I said, they're going to sneak up on some people with Leonard Floyd back there playing linebacker for that defense. All right, then with the final pick of the top 10, you got Eli Apple. He has been a bit of a distraction, hasn't really been as good as maybe you'd expect him to, but nonetheless was a starter for the Giants. This past season was more so out of the, not even on the active squad as far as games. All right, like I said, a lot of distractions going on there, but he's got talent. Pick number 11, you got Vernon Hargreaves. I say that he hasn't really lived up to expectations so far. Okay, he was more so thought of as a shutdown corner. Played well in his first season, but since then hasn't really done too much. Okay. And you got Laramie Tunsil with the 13th pick, a guy you most thought would probably go a little bit high, but nonetheless had that video come out the night of the draft, so he falls a bit to Miami, and he's done well. I mean, last season he didn't really play too well, and that was his second season. And you normally do see a lot of second-year players take a step back, but nonetheless now I guess it's time to see what exactly he does this season with Miami. And he is a starter with that team, so that's a plus there also. All right, Corey Coleman, drafted 15th by the Browns. Going to be a starter on that team this season. Isn't a number 1 receiver or anything like that, but I'd say has done well for himself so far. All right, Keanu Neal, safety for the Falcons, has done well for himself too. Starter for that team. I mean, that's all you could really ask for with your picks in the first round. Obviously, you want stars and all, but more so that's for the top 10. You get guys in the 15 through 30 range that are starters. I mean, that's a big plus right there. All right, Keanu Neal's one of them. And he's even I'd say, I don't want to say he's a top 5 safety, but nonetheless, he's done well. All right, and then you got Taylor Decker, who got drafted 16th by the Lions. Starting offensive tackle for that team. I mean, like I said, not much more you could ask for there. Okay. Shaq Lawson got taken by the Bills. He's been all right so far in his career. Will Fuller, 21st by the Texans. I'm not too high on him. I don't think he really has too much of a skill set as far as being a receiver. He doesn't really catch the ball well, and he only runs one route, I feel. So he's a one-trick pony for me. Josh Dotson for the Washington Redskins has shown flashes, hasn't really done much, though. So we'll see what he can do with Alex Smith this season. Laquan Treadwell, pretty much a no-show for this team, meaning he hasn't really played much or really produced anything for this team for them to be excited about. So I'd say that's a bust so far. William Jackson for the Cincinnati Bengals, I feel, has been a solid cornerback for the Bengals. All right, Artie Burns got taken by the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers just don't know how to draft cornerbacks, I feel. All right, Paxton Lynch by the Broncos. That was a bust. That's a bust. That's all we got to say about that. All right, then you got Robert Nkemdiche by the Cardinals. He's been all right. Okay, so I'd say for this first round, as far as the top 5 picks, I mean, you got the best corner in the league for me, top 3 running back, okay, and Carson Wentz, who's already a top 10 quarterback, and then Joey Bosa, who I'd say is a top 10 defensive end already. So a lot of great players here. Might be better than 2014 draft. I'm not entirely sure. Let's look at the second round. You got Emmanuel Ogbah, defensive end out of Oklahoma State, drafted by the Browns. People wonder why the Browns didn't take Chubb with the 4th pick. They like Ogbah that much, so I don't think they really thought they needed Chubb. Then you got Jalen Smith, 34th pick. I mean, he tore his ACL in his final game with Notre Dame. Is trying to work his way back and be the same linebacker that he used to be. Then you got Hunter Henry with the 35th pick. I thought was going to be a top 5 tight end this season. Ends up blowing his knee out, which was obviously terrible for that offense. Miles Jack, linebacker out of UCLA. Some injury concerns. I think that's why he fell so far down into the second round. But more so has been a great starting linebacker for the Jaguars. I mean, Jags did really well with these picks too, these first 2 picks. Then with the Miami Dolphins, 38th pick, they take Xavier Howard. I mean, had a breakout year this past year, and seemingly is the starting quarterback for the Dolphins going forward. So that's a plus there. There's a lot of solid players, even though this draft just recently happened. All right, Sterling Shepard, a number 2 receiver for the Giants. He's done well. Let's see, who else in the second round? Derrick Henry, going to be the starting running back for this team. You got Michael Thomas, who I think is a top 10 receiver for sure. And I think even top 5, I'd say. All right. So there's a lot of solid players. Christian Hackenberg, that's a bust. He got cut by the Raiders, I believe it was either today or yesterday, and cleared waivers. So not too many looking for him. Let's see, anyone else in the second round? Roberto Aguayo, bust for the Buccaneers. I mean, that pick never worked out. So I'd say second round, yeah, we got a lot of solid players there too. Round 3, Kevin Byard, all right. Solid safety for the Titans. I believe he was an all-pro safety too last year, I think it was, this past season. So that's a great pick right there for the Titans. Let's see, Yannick Ngakoue, defensive end out of Jacksonville, starter for that team. Caused a lot of havoc on offensive lines. Solid pick there. Like I said, they're 3 for 3 on their first 3 picks. Kenyon Drake for the Miami Dolphins, looking like he's going to be the starting running back for that team this year. Looked good so far too in his first 2 years, so we'll see what he could do in his 3rd year, I believe it is. Yeah, his 3rd year, I think. Let's see. Braxton Miller. Texans took a filler on him. He hasn't really done much. Deontay Carew seems like a bust for Miami so far. Jacoby Brissett started for the Colts last season. He got drafted by the Patriots, got traded. Did well with the Colts, just they don't have any talent right there. All right, and then let's see. That's it for the 3rd round. Looking at the 4th round. Not much going on here. Not much at all. I don't see any starters here, really. No big-name players. Yeah, it's not looking great for this 4th round. Dak Prescott, finally found one. All right. Starting quarterback for the Cowboys. I mean, went 13-3 in his first season, made the playoffs. It's just, those Packers. All right. Then you got Devontae Booker, who might be a starting running back for the Broncos this season. So, 2 good picks in that 4th round, I'd say. 5th round. Like I said, we got to give these guys more time to develop. But nonetheless, I mean, Jordan Howard, real good running back. Probably a top 10 running back for me with the Bears. He's going to do well with Mitch Trubisky this season, I feel. Tyreek Hill, another great wide receiver. Is he top 10? I'm not entirely sure. But nonetheless, I'd say that the 5th round here was definitely better than the 4th round. Looking at the 6th round, anything we got going on here? Like I said, you got to wait for all these guys to develop. I mean, Jakeem Grant's done a little bit for Miami. It's not looking great in the 6th round. Yeah, so not much going on in the 6th round. I'd say Jakeem Grant probably is the best player of that round. 7th round, you're not really going to find much here either. And we are not. All right. I mean, the 2016 draft, I'd say it's already better than the 2015 draft. I think I'd go 2013 draft number 1, 14 draft number 2. No, I'll go this draft number 2. I really like the players. I know there's not too many 6th and 7th round picks that have turned out well, but unless you got to wait for them to develop. So I go 2013, 2016, 2014, then 2015. All right, so that's my thoughts on these drafts. But we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for listening to the GSMC Football Podcast. As always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. I will be back tomorrow, so stay tuned, and I will talk to you later.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.